Welcome to UK Insights. What drives a man to dedicate his entire life to the dream of a nation, to stand firm through victories and defeats, believing in the promise of a fairer, more independent future for his people? For Alex Salmond, it was a love for Scotland that burned so fiercely it reshaped the very fabric of British politics. From humble beginnings to the halls of power, Salmond wasn't just a politician, he was a visionary, one who sought to change the fate of a country he held in his heart. Today we celebrate the profound legacy of a leader whose dream for Scotland still echoes across its hills and streets. Join us as we explore the lasting contributions of a man who loved making an impact. So who exactly was Alex Salmond, and what impact did he bring to the UK and Scotland? Alex Salmond, a towering figure in Scottish and UK politics, left an indelible mark through his leadership and relentless advocacy for Scottish independence. From his role in the Scottish National Party, SNP, to his transformative policies, Salmond was a figure who sparked change. Today we'll explore the top 10 positive contributions he made to the United Kingdom, with a particular focus on Scotland, the country he so dearly loved. Perhaps the most significant aspect of Alex Salmond's legacy is his leadership in advancing the Scottish independence movement. As the face of the 2014 Scottish independence referendum, Salmond brought the independence question into the heart of UK politics. Under his guidance, the Yes movement ignited a surge in national pride and political engagement, drawing millions of Scots into the debate over the country's future. For Salmond, this wasn't just about politics, it was personal. He loved Scotland deeply, and his passion for an independent Scotland was palpable. He once remarked that independence was not just about breaking away from the UK, but about giving Scotland a chance to shape its own destiny, to create a nation that reflected the values and aspirations of its people. While the referendum narrowly failed, with 45% voting in favour of independence, Salmond's work laid the foundation for future discussions. The political landscape of the UK was changed forever as the idea of Scottish sovereignty took centre stage, becoming a lasting issue that continues to define Scottish politics today. Another key achievement of Salmond's leadership was his transformation of the SNP from a fringe party into the dominant political force in Scotland. When he became leader of the SNP, the party was on the periphery of Scottish politics, but under his strategic leadership, that all changed. In 2007, Salmond led the SNP to its first ever victory in the Scottish Parliament, forming a minority government. 4 years later, in 2011, he went one step further, securing an outright majority, a historic moment for the SNP. This shift turned the SNP from a marginal party into a powerhouse, capable of challenging the traditional political parties in the UK. For Salmond, it wasn't just about winning elections. He took pride in the SNP's vision of a fairer, more prosperous Scotland, free from inequality and economic dependency. It was about giving Scotland a voice that was respected, not just within the UK, but globally. He loved the idea that his efforts were helping to elevate the Scottish identity on the world stage. Following the 2014 referendum, even though independence was not achieved, Salmond succeeded in securing increased devolution for Scotland. The referendum created enough political pressure that the UK government was forced to agree to more powers for the Scottish Parliament. This landmark moment in devolution gave Scotland greater control over key policy areas like taxation, education, and welfare. For Salmond, devolution was more than a political achievement. It was a testament to his unwavering belief in Scotland's ability to govern itself. He loved the idea of empowering local governance, ensuring that decisions affecting Scots were made in Edinburgh, not London. His drive came from a deep belief that local people understood their own needs better than any distant government, and his efforts in this area helped lay the groundwork for Scotland's growing political autonomy. One of the lesser discussed but highly impactful contributions of Salmond's tenure was his dedication to renewable energy. Salmond understood the potential for Scotland to lead the way in renewable energy production. His policies focused on wind and tidal power, making Scotland a pioneer in green energy. Today, Scotland generates around 90% of its electricity from renewable sources, largely thanks to Salmond's push for sustainability. His vision for a green energy future has not only benefited Scotland's environment, but has also created jobs and reduced dependence on fossil fuels. For Salmond, this wasn't just about economics, it was about leaving a lasting legacy for future generations. He took immense pride in knowing that his policies were contributing to a cleaner, more sustainable future, and that Scotland was leading by example on a global scale. One of Salmond's most popular policies was his commitment to keeping university education free for Scottish students. While the rest of the UK introduced or raised tuition fees, Scotland remained committed to providing higher education at no cost to its citizens. This move helped ensure that access to education remained open to all, regardless of economic background. Salmond often spoke passionately about the transformative power of education. He believed that a free education system was the key to a more equal society, one where every young person could reach their potential, regardless of where they came from. For him, ensuring free access to education was not just a policy, it was a reflection of his values. He loved knowing that his work was giving young Scots the opportunity to dream bigger, unburdened by the fear of student debt. If you're enjoying this breakdown of Alex Salmond's lasting contributions to Scotland and the UK, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Stay updated on the latest political developments and more stories like this. Now let's dive into more of his impactful policies. While the NHS in other parts of the UK faced cuts and restructuring during periods of austerity, Scotland's NHS remained well protected under Salmond's leadership. His government ensured that the Scottish NHS stayed fully funded and publicly owned, keeping it accessible to all citizens. Salmond believed that healthcare was a right, not a privilege, and he loved the idea of a healthcare system that treated everyone equally. His efforts to protect the NHS were rooted in his desire to ensure that no one in Scotland was left behind, particularly during difficult economic times. His pride in the NHS was evident in the way he spoke about it, as one of the great successes of Scottish governance. Salmond's time as First Minister also saw a marked improvement in Scotland's economy. Through a combination of policies focused on attracting foreign investment and promoting Scottish exports, Salmond helped create jobs and stimulate economic growth. His administration was instrumental in laying the groundwork for a modern, more dynamic Scottish economy. Salmond loved Scotland's potential for economic self-sufficiency. For him, building a robust economy was about more than just statistics. It was about creating opportunities for Scots to thrive. Whether it was in industries like renewable energy, tourism, or technology, he believed in Scotland's ability to stand on its own, economically strong and resilient. Another significant contribution Salmond made was his promotion of Scottish identity and culture. He consistently emphasized Scotland's rich cultural history, from its language to its traditions, and worked to showcase these on the world stage. Salmond played a key role in promoting Scotland's image abroad, making cultural diplomacy a cornerstone of his political agenda. For Salmond, promoting Scottish culture wasn't just about politics, it was a matter of pride. He loved the diversity and richness of Scotland's heritage, and he believed that the rest of the world should see what made his country so special. Whether through the promotion of Gaelic or celebrating Scotland's artistic achievements, Salmond saw culture as a way to unite the country and present it as a strong, independent nation on the world stage. In 2014, Salmond's government passed legislation to legalise same-sex marriage in Scotland, marking a major milestone for LGBTQ+ rights. The decision to push forward with this legislation was a reflection of Salmond's commitment to equality and social justice. For Salmond, supporting same-sex marriage was about building a society where everyone was treated with dignity and respect. He loved the idea of a Scotland where people were free to love whom they wanted without fear of discrimination, and he was proud that his government played a part in making that a reality. Another important domestic policy championed by Salmond was the abolition of prescription charges in 2011. This move ensured that all Scots, regardless of income, could access necessary medications without financial barriers. Salmond's commitment to fairness was at the heart of this policy. He believed that no one should be denied essential healthcare because of financial hardship, and that principle guided many of his domestic policies. By abolishing prescription charges, he made healthcare more accessible and equitable for all Scots. For Salmond, ensuring that everyone had access to the medication they needed without worrying about a cost was a matter of compassion and justice. This policy is one of the most tangible ways Salmond impacted the daily lives of Scots, particularly those in lower-income households or with chronic health conditions. From championing renewable energy to providing free university education, Alex Salmond's impact on Scotland and the UK cannot be overstated. His political career was marked by transformative policies that shaped the future of Scotland and inspired generations. Whether you agreed with his vision for independence or not, his contributions toward healthcare, equality, education, and economic growth left an undeniable mark. In memory of Alex Salmond, let's celebrate his positive contributions to the UK and Scotland. His legacy will continue to influence Scottish politics for years to come. What are your thoughts on Alex Salmond's legacy? Leave a comment below and share your views. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political content. Thank you for watching.